In a typical Natalia fashion, what are we doing? Who knows what we're doing?
It's the last day of August and we're just getting around to filming the second update for this year's Project Pan. Yes, that was supposed to happen in July. Yes, you don't need to remind me. Yes, I already know all that. But better late than never, so here we are. If you guys are curious to hear what I've used up, what progress I've made on the 21 products that I'm trying to get through this year, then please keep on watching. Hi guys, it's Project Pan time, and if you are watching this update and have not been following my previous update or my intro video, this year Project Pan is really exciting because it's a collab. It's a collab with my friend Corinne. Her channel is RINNEY RAINEY, and I will make sure to link it up here or down in the description or both. So we have both been swamped. She went back to work. Before that, she was working virtual from home, and I have been working both virtual and in person for a while now. But this summer has just flown by. It's been extra nuts. So she and I have both kind of dropped the ball on our second update and are just getting around to doing this now. We still wanted to do this update since we have 21 products to go through and possibly some roll-ins, maybe. You're gonna have to wait for them. Let's not linger any further. Let's go ahead and get started. I just wanted to welcome everybody to my channel. Whether you are new or returning, thank you so much for being here. For those of you that are meeting me for the first time, hi, my name is Natalia. I'm a concert pianist that loves all things beauty to the point where I've accumulated a lot of my collection unfortunately goes unloved, and this is one of the ways that I pull out some products that I really want to try to either use up or just give them a lot more attention. So if you are into Project Pans, if you are into more mindful and conscientious spending and usage of what you already have, if you're looking for that balance between acquiring the new, which I have been doing way too much this year, and continuing to use the old, which is what I am constantly trying to do, then you're in the right place. I hope that you will consider subscribing and joining our frugal family. And now let's jump into this Project Pan update. As always, I'm going to try to go in the same order as I generally do, which is approximately how I would apply products to my face, unless I'm doing my eyeshadow first, which happens sometimes. For primer, I was so close. I probably have only just a handful of uses left, if that. The primer I've been working on this whole year so far is the Touch in Sol Glassy Skin. I think that's what it's called.
Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Glassy Skin Balm.
This essentially is very moisturizer-esque, which for my normal during the summer, dry in the winter skin, I think works great. It's not too greasy where it makes my makeup slide off. I think actually it really helps things look a little bit more natural, a little bit more dewy. I am really enjoying this primer. As you can see, I'm almost done. I used it today and I already had taken all of my pictures and weighed everything. So there's probably even less product in this, as well as some other things that we're going to talk about today, but obviously we're just going to go based on the pictures you're hopefully going to be seeing. So I started off with 42 grams of this product back in January. Then when I did my first update, there were 36 grams, and now we are down to 20. So I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a product I'm going to be able to use up in September, and then I'll probably roll something in behind the scenes and just let you guys know what it was and what the progress will be like next update. For foundation, I selected the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation, for my 2021 Project Pan. The progress on this has been slow but steady because I did acquire a couple of skin tints and just a few new complexion things over the summer, so I have been going more towards that. I haven't been using this quite as much, but I still made some progress. So back in January, we started off with 177 grams. Then in, I think it was April that I did my first update, there was 175 grams, so it was down 2 grams, and now we're at 171. So I did manage to use 4 more grams of this product. Hard to know as far as where in the bottle I am, just because the product is so streaky against the walls. It's one of these large doe foot applicators. I've been really liking it. Pretty much everything you guys are seeing in my face except for the eyeshadow is in this project pan. Oh, also the lipstick, because my project pan lip products today were just not working out for some reason. Everything was looking streaky and a hot mess. Also, everything is staying in the project unless I'm letting you guys know otherwise. So in case I forget to mention that. I'm reading off here because some of this is just so tiny, the writing, it's kind of hard to see. But for concealer, I've been using the Marc Jacobs Remedy concealer, and this is in 00 Stand Corrected. I've already talked about how for a 00 shade, which I assume is their lightest, I don't think this is light enough as far as like the full range, but I've been using it quite a bit, and you guys might be able to tell, I don't know if you can, there is just a teeny tiny amount left. I've been kind of distracted by specifically one new concealer that I got, I think it was during the spring Sephora VIB sale, and that was the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. You can't make me stop using that thing. So sometimes I mix this with the Power Fabric just because I know I need to use this up. But honestly, if this was not in a project pan, this would have been long forgotten and completely replaced by the Armani Power Fabric. So I'm glad it's in this project pan because I'm close to using it up, and I'm gonna feel really proud of myself when I do, and I will have one less concealer to go through, and I'll be able to focus on the ones I really love instead. For powder, I have two powders in this project pan. One is an under eye powder and the other one is like an all over setting powder. So for the under eye one, I was using the Ilia Fade Into You Soft Focus Finishing Powder, and I was marking things as I went, but I am proud to say that I've taken out the sifter and this is completely empty. So this is the first product that is completely gone and done for this update. Yay me. For the other powder, also quite exciting, even though I've purchased two powders over the summer and they have definitely stolen my heart over this one that's in my project pan, but I'm still revisiting this one as much as I can because I am determined to eventually use it up. And this is my Physicians Formula Youthful Wear Translucent Illuminating Finish. It does have micro little sparkles, like if you look at your face this close in the mirror, but other than that you really can't tell, but it gives a nice glow. So this is where we're at. If you guys remember, I had already hit pan in my last update, but in comparison to this, that pan was baby pan. Will I be able to use this up by the end of the year? It's still possible, but I really have to remember to prioritize this powder because I purchased the number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder as well as the DIOR Powder No Powder, thanks to Samantha March. And I have to say, I've been reaching for those two over this one. So I need to make this a priority and see if I can rotate through them equally somehow so that this doesn't get neglected. For bronzer, oh, I thought I was so close to hitting pan on this thing. I really did, because I tried to keep using it throughout the summer, even though the shade is kind of a bit off. I didn't get much of a tan. I wasn't really outdoors all that much this summer, except for just like a few hikes here and there. So I have a dip going on. Really thought I could do it, but alas, my Cover FX Sunkissed bronzer still has no pan. I don't know if you guys can see the dip. I know it's hard on camera sometimes, so I'm trying to turn it to see if maybe there's somewhere you guys can see the dip, but there's a dip, and this was brand new at the start of this year. So I'm still really proud of the usage that has happened on this product. As far as the actual grams, we started off with 46 grams back in January, then it was 45 in April, and now I'm down to 43. Plowing through. For blush, I made a pact with myself to pick out a blush and try to use it 50 times this year. The blush that I've been using is the ILLAMASQUA powder blusher in Naked Rose. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like a dusty pink. I do love the ILLAMASQUA blushes. I have 2 of them. The other shade I have is in Lover. I actually just used it in my previous video that you guys just saw, which was the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty recommendations and such. So for this one, I have used it 20 times So last update, I think it was at 8, and now you can see my little tallies there. Now we are at 20, which, while it doesn't seem like all that much, considering we are already at the very end of August, I have to say I am surprised that I used this more this update than last one, because I have purchased a few cream, liquid, moussey type blushes because I had none of that at all in my collection going into 2021, and since 2020 was a no-buy year for me, I couldn't pick up any of the liquid or cream blushes last year, even though they were really starting to become all the rage. So I've been using a lot of my new blushes, and I guess I'm still sometimes remembering to either layer this on top, or I'm reaching for it every once in a while, because it is a stunning blush. I do have to say, it is a stunning blush. I have it layered over one of my cream blushes that I picked up in my Yes Style haul, which I'll be happy to link. That's from, I think, a couple of months ago, but if you're curious to see my very first Yes Style haul, that'll be up in the cards for you guys. But yeah, I've used this 20 times. Will I be able to get to 50? I doubt it. We only have, what, 4 months left, and I don't wear makeup every single day, so I would really have to wear makeup like every, what, 3-4 days and use exclusively this to hit my goal. But we'll see how we do. I'm okay if I don't reach every single goal. The point of this for me is just to really try to use my products. With blush, I realized last year I will probably never hit pan on a blush. I just have way too many, and at least for now, I haven't come to that point where I'm ready to let a lot of them go and just stick to very few. That would be the only way I would ever hit pan on a blush, is if I had like 3 in my collection. But I have probably like 53, so that's not happening anytime soon. For highlighter, I had 2. I had a cream product that actually you guys just recently saw in my empties video, which went up last week. So if you're curious to see a humongous, ginormous empties with this in it, then you can go ahead and watch that after this video. But this NARS Copacabana, while I love the color and I love this product when I first got it, it dried up way too quickly. At this point, it just looks like a stripe on my cheeks. It doesn't blend very nicely. So this already had made it into my empties video. Even though I didn't use this up completely, I'm going to count this as done. I am one who tries to use things as much as possible, but I'm not going to torture myself. I'm not going to hate pan, as I think what it's called in the Project Pan community. I don't want to use products that I really dislike. I still want to like and enjoy the things that I'm using. So since that cream highlighter just doesn't perform as nicely as I need it to, it's gonna go. For the powder highlighter, I selected one of my all-time and old-time favorites, and that's the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade Highlight 01. This was probably my very first high-end highlighter purchase. I've used this for years. There's definitely a dip going. There was already a dip going back in January. And again, I don't find myself reaching for it very often because I seem to be attracted to more blindy highlighters, to my newer highlighters, but I am trying to remember to at least layer this once in a while. So for this, I started off with 83 grams in January. I was still at 83 grams, at least on my crappy scale. And I'm pleased to report that this time around, I'm down to 82 grams. So just that alone makes me happy. If you've watched my empties video, you've seen this next product or products in there, and that is the mascaras that I had in this Project Pan. These are the L'Oreal Voluminous mascaras. I had both the Lash Paradise and the original. I actually opened these up back in December of 2020 for a video. I did a comparison of these two, and then I decided to continue using them until they were either gone or dried up or whatnot. And as I talked in my empties video, I just felt like it was time. It was starting to dry up, starting to smudge. So if you want to know a little bit more about how I feel about these mascaras, you can always watch that initial review video that I did back in December or the recent empties. But so far it's been pretty exciting. I'm really happy with the progress that I've made this time around. While nothing is groundbreaking and revolutionary, and most of the products that I've used up thus far are kind of predictable ones that I thought I would. I'm still happy at how things are turning out. So next we have the eyeshadow palette that I selected. Now I'm not panning the entire tartlet in Bloom. There's no way. I am not an eyeshadow panner. I like to rotate, especially considering how infrequently I wear my makeup. And I don't want to blind you. I'll try to put up pictures. I didn't hit pan yet in the shade that I have in my project pan, which is this one right here in Flower Child, but there is a significant dip at this point going on. So every time I use it, I'm like, any day now, any day now. Is this going to be the day? Is it going to be today? It was funny, even today, I had already taken the pictures and went in to set my eyeshadow primer with these two shades, which is generally what I do. And I was like, am I going to hit pan after I've already done the pictures? And no, I have not. It seems like these pans are quite deep. I like to have this as a companion palette in general because I have been playing with a lot of new eyeshadow palettes this year since I've gone a little bit nuts with that. So it's nice to have a really solid companion. We're gonna keep it in this project pan because I really would like to hit pan on at least one shade of this Tartelette in Bloom palette. Speaking of eyeshadow primer, I think I should have done that first. You guys remember this? If you've watched my project pans either in 2021 or in 2020, I can see empty space now. Like I can actually see that the product is clinging only to parts of the tube. But yeah, it's still going. I swear, last time I said this thing looks like it's coming to my grave with me. Like it's just never ending. It's never ending. I don't want to talk about it. It's upsetting. I know, I'm being dramatic, but it is upsetting. I have other eyeshadow primers that I am so curious about. Like I have a new Milani one that's been raved about by Emily Noel for what I feel like is over a decade. And I finally bought it in 2019. And because I put this sucker into my project pan in 2020, I haven't even opened the Milani because I'm still trying to use this thing up almost 2 years later. Makes me so angry. You make me angry. Okay, it's really not that deep. Moving on, we have lip products. Jordana Easy Liner and Tawny. Guys, I had no idea that Jordana closed until after they closed. This is where we're at. I will put a photo, of course, of the progress. It's about the same as it was last time. So at the rate I'm going, I have to be honest, I don't think I'm actually going to use this up this year. This lip liner is amazing because it is a bit more of that sturdy, tough formula. It doesn't pull, but yet at the same time, it's not one of those super creamy formulas where you glide on and half of the lip pencil is gone. This one really lasts. And I loved these lip liners. I've used up one other one in the past, not in Tawny, in some other shade I can't remember the name of now. So I'm really sad that these are no more. These are some really good lip liners. So if you still have them, pull them out. Give them some love before they dry out. This is a great lip liner and I'm really glad I put it into this year's project pan. I've been enjoying using it. I do have the lip liner on today. And then for lipstick, I did try to go in with my Bite Beauty Ritzina. I've used it a few times. I don't want to say that I haven't been using it at all. I have, but for some reason, it's slow going. It really is. I guess because I primarily use it like in the center of my lips in conjunction with other things. Today, I tried to use more of it, and then I tried to put the Bite Beauty Opal Gloss, which is also in this project pan. These two both have been neglected by me. I didn't even put another line because honestly, it would be impossible. It would just make one thick line. I've only used this maybe like once or twice since the last update. But I tried to pair these two products together over that Jordana lip liner and I got that whole butthole lip thing instantly. Like it wasn't even after a few minutes. So I had to blot these off and then I ended up actually going in with one of my really old Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks in Naked. This used to be my favorite lipstick of all time. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do about these products. I'm gonna keep giving them a try and leave them in for one more rotation, but if the formula is changing or if something funky is going on and I keep noticing this whole butthole lip situation, these are gonna have to unfortunately get purged at some point. So we'll see. For lip balm, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a milk lip balm that had a teeny tiny bit left. It was this Kush lip balm in Green Dragon. I have dug into this thing and used every little bit of it. You can't pull it up anymore. This thing is completely gone. That's really, really cool. That means that we have now a few products that we're gonna need to roll in at the end of this video. Oh, I think I forgot the eyeliner. It's not on my list. How did that happen? This is another exciting one, guys. My Clinique quick liner for eyes in Intense in black. Look, this is the one where you couldn't roll it down. So I told you guys that when I can no longer roll it up, that's when it's gonna be gone, and it's gone. There's a teeny tiny bit of product, but it's impossible to use it without scratching my cornea or something. So this is done. Another complete empty. Look at me, I'm on a roll. Okay, and then as far as makeup-y products, the last thing is the In Beauty Project Power Up Dual Face Setting Mist. We are making some nice steady progress. I will have the photos up next to me. As far as the grams are concerned, we started off with 112, then we were down to 90 in my first update, and now we're down to 71 grams. So I'm on track. I think this is a product that I could potentially use up this year. I do have to admit, I primarily use this to spray my eyeshadows. I feel like the sprayer is not the most even. Like half of my face will get sprayed really nice and gentle, and the other half will like get little sprinkles on it. So that kind of drives me a little bit bonkers. So I've primarily resorted to using these to spray my eyeshadows. I don't care how I use it up, as long as I use it up. All right, now let's get into some skincare and other types of products. If you guys remember, I usually have an embarrassing product, which basically means something to do with my feet. The products that I had in this year's Project Pan, I was doing really well with in the first quarter, and now that it's been summer and I don't really wear a lot of socks during the summer.
And that noise you're hearing is the neighbor's AC water dropping on my AC. Sorry, nothing I can do about it. It's not going to stop anytime soon, so I can't just sit and wait that out.
These Clarisonic Petty Balms and Petty Boost, I was using this quite a lot in January through April, and then it got warm, and because I used to put this on overnight with a pair of socks, and I'm not really doing that right now, I kind of stopped using it for a bit. My poor feet are a total disaster. I'm really gonna have to rehabilitate them once fall rolls around and I'm not wearing sandals every day. I'm probably gonna need to do one of those like foot peels and go back to using this. So where we're at the moment is this Petty Boost started off at 77 grams, then was down to 70 back in April. So that was nice. That was 7 grams that I had used up, and now we're only down to 68. So I've only used up 2 grams, but I guess a little bit is better than nothing. And this was at 104, then I made it all the way down to 59. I was so excited. I thought I would be able to use this up completely, but I've only managed to use up another 7 grams. And we're down at 52. I do have to say, like, even looking through my ring light, it's down to about here. There's not that much left. So as soon as it cools off and I am okay wearing socks overnight again, I think these will come right back into my life. For skincare, I was using up this Nip and Fab Glycolic Fix foaming pads. They were originally 30 pads in here. I think I started off with like 21 or 22 at the beginning of this year. And last time I think I was down to 9. And this time clearly I am down to 0. So this will be in my upcoming empties whenever that will happen. Whenever that will happen at the rate that I do my empties. If you remember, I did a masking challenge back in March and somehow forgot to use the mask that was in this Project Pan because that's just me, forgetful me. And yes, I can be very forgetful. You'd be proud to know I actually did use this time around. I want to say I used it 2 or 3 times, I can't remember. But you can see at least there is now some progress. We're moving along. I don't think I ever weighed this initially because I never used it initially in that first update of mine. So right now we're at 72 grams, and I guess at this point we're just gonna have to see how I do in the rest of the year. I believe I have just one more product, and that is something you've already seen in my previous empties. It's this Fruitia Blueberry Hydrating Cream. I had to stop using this. I already talked about how I wasn't sure what I was going to do about this product in my first update because the scent is just so strong and so artificial. I did try to use it 1 or 2 more times and decided I can't put my skin through that. So this is already in my empties. I'm going to empty out all this product, wash the jar once this video is done, and we're just going to count this as out. I know it's not a used up product. Part of this project pan, while it is to use up things, it's also to discover what I have, and if it's something that I'm really truly not enjoying using, that I feel is maybe potentially even harmful to my skin, I'm not going to put myself through that. So before I show you guys what I'm rotating in, because I have to actually figure that out, I did not do that yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 products that are exiting this project pan either because they have been fully used up or because they have been decluttered. So that means I need to come back with 7 new items to show you guys. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with the products that I've selected for this rotation. So some of these are going to be replacements in the actual similar categories, and some of these might surprise you. For powder, instead of the Ilia, which got completely used up, I am selecting one that I purchased several years back that is quite pricey, that I used to love, and that I haven't used in the longest time. So I am putting this in knowing that I'm not going to be able to use this up because it is just way too large of a size for me to go through in the remaining 4 months. I'm putting this in because I want to try to use it a lot more often. The powder I'm talking about is the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I can't even really flip it over to mark it because I have just so much product right here at the top of the lid, so I have to be really careful. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Weighing it on my scale is pretty useless, so maybe I will flip it over and put a mark. I haven't thought that through, but this is going to be the product that I would like to work on. Again, especially because I just purchased the number 7 and the DIOR Powder No Powder. I just feel like all of my powders have taken a back seat, and because this was so pricey, I don't know, powder doesn't really go bad, but I feel like I need to give it some love. For mascara, instead of the 2 L'Oreal ones, I am actually going to choose the one that I have been using since finishing those. I have 3 different mascaras in rotation right now, but this is the one I've had open the longest. This is the Clinique High Impact Mascara and the Clinique Lash Building Primer. This is one of the few lash primers that I am actually really enjoying. I'm loving this combination. And while I don't always wear this on camera, although I have, if you guys are curious, my makeup is always listed down below in the description box, and if you go back you will see this quite often. But in my daily life off camera, usually this is my first go-to because it's dramatic if I use the lash primer. If I want something more subtle, I just go in with mascara only, but the main thing is it does not flake, it does not smudge, and I find that so many other mascaras do that on me. Even mascaras that are like cult favorites here on YouTube, and I think in general because they get amazing reviews on Ulta. You constantly read about them in blogs and magazines.
I'm looking at Shoe Essence Lash Princess.
This one I'm enjoying, so I want to keep enjoying it and use it up completely because I rarely do that with mascaras. I feel like they dry out before I actually get to scrape everything out of there. Instead of my Milk Kush lip balm, I am going to pull in my Fresh Sugar in Rosé. I've used one of these these up completely a few years back, and I got another one in like a Sephora favorites kit. I've already been using it ever since I finished up the milk one, so I figured I will keep using it and see if I can use this up before the end of the year. These last forever for me. I feel like this one I flew through. This one is probably going to be a lot more challenging to use up. For eyeliner, instead of the Clinique one, I am going to pull in one of my oldest black ones. I did already an eyeliner declutter fairly recently-ish, so I can link that for you guys. This is one of the ones that stayed. I have a few other ones I'm testing out, but I believe this is the oldest one, and I do find that it's not tuggy, but it is already not as creamy as it used to be. So I would like to use this as much as possible before it totally dries up. Did I tell you guys what it is? It's the Lorac Front of the Line Pro Black Eye Pencil. Instead of the NARS, the Copacabana Illuminator, I decided not to pull in another highlighter, and I decided to do something really bold and crazy, because remember how I told you guys that I feel like I will never use up a blush? Well, I've been on the whole cream and liquid blush kick, and the one I've been reaching for the most since I bought it, and the one I talked about earlier in this video, I've been told you guys go watch my Yes Style haul if you want to see what I purchased. Well, this Juicy Pang Jelly Blusher in PK01, I don't remember now what the shade is called. It's either Plum or I don't remember. This thing has been so used and abused all summer by me. It's the one I'm wearing higher up in the cheeks, and then I have the ILLAMASQUA one a little bit further down. I can't get enough of this blush. I feel like the liquid ones disappear on me. It takes way more product for me to actually get enough color on my cheeks, whereas with this one, it's perfect. You can't overdo it, but at the same time, you can actually see it. I don't know what it is about this blush, but I love it, and honestly, I have a feeling I'm going to continue using it, so I'm just curious. This is all for science, makeup science. I am curious to see how I do with this, and whether I can actually ever use up a blush, as long as it's one I truly love and reach for. And then I have two skincare products. So instead of the Nip and Fab, I am pulling in this Ordinary Amino Acids plus B5 Concentrated Hydration Support Formula Serum. It's very liquidy. I rotate it with a bunch of other products, and it's just one that I've had for a long time open. I keep plowing through it, but kind of slowly. I need to just use this thing up, so I'm hoping this gives me that push. And lastly, instead of this really horribly artificially smelling Fruitia situation, I recently picked up a set, I believe at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, from COSRX. And I've heard great things about this brand. It was a toner set. It had a full size of their Hydream watery toner with hyaluronic acid and allantoin. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it has even all the ingredients right here on the front, which I love. It's totally transparent, which is awesome. And then it had two mini ones of two different toners. And because I've recently purchased quite a lot of skincare, ring the shame bell. Yes, I know I wasn't supposed to buy all that much skincare, if any, this year. I'm itching to try new stuff. I've reached that point, I think, where like the post no buy craze has hit an all-time high, and I need to get it out of my system, and then hopefully I'll have another crash where I'm like, that's it, I'm not buying anything, because I feel like that's me. I always say I'm all or nothing, and apparently I'm like that when it comes to my purchases as well. Anyway, tangent as always. So I think I'm gonna put this into this Project Pan. It's a brand new toner. I've only used it so far maybe about 4 or 5 times, and I'm just excited to see if I enjoy it. And I feel like the only way that that will happen is if I continuously use it. If I don't put it in a Project Pan, I think I'm going to be juggling between all the new products that I just purchased, and I'm not going to be able to understand what I actually like and what I don't. I do tend to unfortunately do that sometimes, and it's a bad habit, and I need to break it. So we're gonna at least give this product its fair chance by using it all the time for the next however long. That is it. I am so excited that I got this video finally filmed, and I bet Corinne feels the same way. If you guys have not checked out Corinne's channel, which is RINNEY RAINEY, please go ahead and do so. She is wonderful. She does TJ Maxx Shop With Me videos every single Sunday. She usually posts posts 2 other videos a week. She also, turns out, and I didn't know this until just a few weeks ago, has a book Instagram page, and it is so much fun. So I will try to remember to link that down below. Overall, I just, as always, want to thank Corinne for doing this with me this year. So much more fun to know that there's a friend and a fellow beauty creator that is doing this project alongside with me. And I am really excited to see her progress. I hope that you will go ahead and watch her video next. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear how you think I did. I'd love to hear what you are currently working through, what you're trying to pan in your collection. And other than that, just one more reminder to please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you back, and I hope that you are continuing to stay safe and healthy, that you're taking care of yourself and those around you, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video, which, spoiler, might be my birthday giveaway announcement, because I am so late on that. That's probably going to be my next video, so stay tuned for that. I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye guys.